In this video, we will explore the time control frame offset feature, available in Keyframe Pro 2. I will also highlight recent updates to the Maya to Keyframe Pro 2 script that leverage this functionality to streamline your workflow. To begin, let's define the time control frame offset. Within Keyframe Pro 2's interface, you have the option of displaying two different time controls. Currently, I have both visible with the global time control at the bottom of the viewport and the range time control at the top. Both of these currently reflect the active frame of the loaded media. By default, Keyframe Pro 2 designates frame 1 as the start of a source or a timeline, as shown here with the playhead at the beginning of the video. And each of the time controls displays 1 for the current frame. This aligns with the standard pipeline at many studios where animation, particularly with Maya, commences on frame 1. However, production requirements often vary. Many studios utilize frame 0 as their starting point. Furthermore, when play-blasting specific segments of a larger animation, the resulting clips often carry different starting frame numbers with every iteration. This is where the time control frame offset becomes essential. This feature allows you to offset the displayed frame number by a specific value to match the source animation accurately. And to maximize flexibility, this offset can be applied globally, at the project level, or it can be overridden on individual sources or timelines. At the global level, the time control frame offset is the project default, and this is set in the preferences. So I can bring this up, edit, preferences, and then in the project section, there is a group titled frame numbering, and here you will find the time control offset, currently set to a value of 1. And this represents the starting frame number. When a new project is created, this is the offset used by the project. As an example, if you would prefer the time control to always start on frame 0, then you can set the frame offset to 0 in the preferences. Under the hood, Keyframe Pro 2 uses 0 for the first frame, meaning that this offset value will always match the first frame number. Having changed the time control frame offset in the preferences, the current project remains unaffected, so it still starts on frame 1. And this is something that can be edited after the fact in the project settings. So this would be Edit, Project Settings, and here there is a TC frame offset row, and the value here remains set to 1. For every new project, though, after the change was made in preferences, the starting frame number will be 0. So if I were to create a new project and import a source video, as expected, the time control now starts on frame 0. Again, though, this can be changed on a project-by-project basis. So maybe there's a special case for this project and I need it to start on frame 1. Once again, I can open the project settings and change the TC frame offset to a value of 1. After clicking OK, all of the sources and timelines in this project will now start on frame 1. That is, unless it has been overridden. The time control frame offset override is a property found on sources and timelines. This allows for more granular control over the frame number displayed. Here I have a small project with 3 sources and a timeline. At the project level, the frame offset is set to 1, meaning that each source and the timeline will start on frame 1, as you can see as I load each one into the viewer. For this example, the 3 shots represent a sequence that starts on frame 1, and this is represented by the timeline, which includes the 3 shots in order. Now, when the individual shots are loaded, I would like the time control frame number to match that of the timeline. So for shot 1, it should start on frame 1. For shot 2, it should start on frame 40. And shot 3 should start on frame 108. To accomplish this, I will override the time control frame offset for shots 2 and 3. So first I need to load shot 2 into the viewer, and this will bring up the properties panel in the sidebar for the shot. One of the properties is TC frame offset override, and I will set this to a value of 40 for shot 2, and then enable the override. Immediately, you can see the time control frame number has updated, and it's displaying the number 40 for the first frame. And then I can repeat this process for shot 3, in this case setting the frame offset override to 108. And again, this needs to also be enabled. Once again, the time control value has been immediately updated. So with that, shot 1 starts on frame 1, shot 2 starts on frame 40, and shot 3 starts on frame 108, with the timeline itself starting on frame 1. Now, this is one small example. A second example, and one that is very beneficial to animators, is when play blasting a section of a larger animation in Maya. The play blast may start on frame 50, and it can be confusing having a mismatch between the player's displayed frame number and the actual animation frame in Maya. The time control frame offset solves this problem by allowing the Keyframe Pro 2 start frame to match that of the play blast. And to streamline this process, new functionality has been added to the Maya to Keyframe Pro 2 toolset, allowing the offset to be set directly through Maya. So let's take a look at this new feature. To streamline the time control frame offset process when creating or working with play blasts in Maya, a new section has been added to the Maya to Keyframe Pro 2 toolkit for setting and clearing the offset. Additionally, a new play blast option has been added to automate this process when the play blast is created. For this example, I have a scene with a shot mask displaying the playback range in the top right corner, starting on frame 30. And then there's the current playback frame in the bottom right corner. The full animation does start on frame 1. However, for this example, I want playback to start at frame 30, as if I were working on a small section of an animation. Now, if I create a standard play blast using the default options, when it is opened in Keyframe Pro 2, the time control displays frame 1 for the start frame, even though the actual frame as shown by the frame counter, is frame 30. In order to have the frame displayed in Keyframe Pro 2 match that of the animation, I can change the frame offset override directly through the Maya to Keyframe Pro 2 user interface. In the Time Control Frame Offset section of the UI, and this was first added in version 1.4.1 of the script, there is a button to set the frame offset to the playback start. After clicking this button, the offset in Keyframe Pro 2 is updated for the current media, and the time control displays frame 30 for the first frame, matching the animation frame in Maya. And this offset can be cleared at any time by clicking the Reset button in Maya to Keyframe Pro 2. So after clicking Reset in Keyframe Pro 2, this has been restored to 1. The other addition to the Maya to Keyframe Pro 2 script related to the frame offset can be found in the Playblast section. There is a new option allowing the user to automatically set the frame offset to the Playblast start frame after the Playblast is loaded in Maya. So this is the TC frame offset. And using the same example scene, I'm going to toggle Playblast Start, creating a new Playblast. The offset is automatically set, so in Keyframe Pro 2, the first frame is frame 30. And this is just removing a manual step from the process. One final note, and this is related to syncing. The time control frame offset is taken into account. Frame 30 in Maya will be recognized as the first frame in the loaded Playblast. So just quickly, with sync enabled, the current frame in Maya matches the displayed frame in Keyframe Pro 2. The sync offset in the sync section of Maya to Keyframe Pro 2 is not needed when using a time control frame offset value that is set to the playback start frame.